We have been so controlled mentally, you know, psychologically, spiritually, and physically, that we're governed now by that, you know, or should I say most people are governed by that, you know what I'm saying? And so everything that they do has to be learned or taught.
The reason why you know it's some off city because of the fact everybody ends up in the same way in the end, stretched out, laid out. Whether you had got a degree from Harvard or whether you was the homeless man in New York or the little old Indonesian woman, ends up stretched out, laid out up in everybody's face dead. That's what
Right.
also that sound harsh, but that's what I started looking at, like all the roads to the same thing.
Until it's interrupted. See what I'm saying? Like that whole vibration I was talking about with the water. You drop a drop of water in the water, and then it creates this ripple. The ripple goes all the way out into however far that body of water can go until it's interrupted by something else, and then it corresponds with that. The vibration comes back to where it came from, the original place where that it actually came from. So it's same thing with life. It's the same thing. You know, when people begin to understand that literally your mind is being controlled, but you have to allow your spirit. You can't try to do it yourself. Like, oh, I'm gonna control my thoughts. No. You have to allow your spirit to you just have to operate from your spirit. Be led by what you feel in your spirit, not by yourself, but because like in your spirit, you're gonna always be in the know. But when you're operating from the physical, you always got to try to find out. You know what I'm saying? You got to go and learn it. You got to go and seek it. Seek and you shall find, and all that. But from the spiritual aspect, you're always knowing, because even like you don't have to try to know. You'll know basically because when you're given instructions from the Spirit, from God, when you're given the instruction and you move based on that instruction, things happen in divine order. You know what I'm saying? You get things in divine order. Things take place that you wouldn't necessarily even expect to take place. Things happen, and you can literally follow these instructions as they're given, and you know it's not you because we're in these physical bodies and we've been trained and taught to think a certain way. Unless you operate from the spirit, you're gonna be able or only be able to see, you know, what your eyes can see. Other than that, you have to try to look from within, do some meditation, you know, or just some people understand how to just be obedient to the Creator, to what's inside, what you feel, what you hear, because you know that voice. You know that voice.
That's the thing. That's what I always tell people. And people don't believe me, but I don't be caring because I know the truth. But I always say, I listen to my spirit because my spirit never lies. I can even fix my own lips, like what it is, and such. My spirit is not going to lie to me. My inner man is going to tell me the truth. At the end of the day, it's going to tell me what's going on. Because it's God speaking. So I know when I know. And it's like I know the truth. No matter what, it's the time I'll be in a situation and I'll be like, I already knew the answer to this because God have already spoke to me and told me not to do this. So I'm living this out because I knew the answer, but I chose to follow my flesh, and now this is what I'm experiencing.
Right. And the beautiful part about it though is like we started about talking about when you put the key in the car, we already know that when you put a key in the ignition of a vehicle, that when you turn it, it's going to crank up the car. We know that. We talked about that and how even if it didn't crank, we still know something new. So it's like a forever evolving process that creates new situations for you to know something new, and it just keeps going. So like with each situation, even in life, like this life that we live, we're gonna always fall into the knowing if we operate from the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And even if we don't, like, this is the beautiful part about it. Even if you don't operate from the spirit, at some point you're gonna know, because you're gonna know what's gonna happen in your life, because each action that you take is gonna produce a reaction, and you're gonna have to keep going, and you can keep on having, allowing yourself to go through these different situations and fall right back into the hole again, or which by force, the way the world is, the way the Creator created the world, by force you will know, or by choice.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, you don't know.
You're gonna know. You're gonna know. You're going to evolve whether you want to or not. You're going to evolve. Like, look at, they can't even slow down technology. They can't slow down the evolvement of technology. It's impossible, because we're always learning something new, and we're always in creation. We're always creating something new. Now they try to govern that creation by only allowing a certain number of people to be, well, from the physical standpoint, I'm gonna say that, to be able to know certain information, but it doesn't matter how much they try to govern spiritual knowledge, because they can't govern it. They can govern what's out there in the physical, by creating these different platforms of government, but they can't control the spiritual knowledge that supersedes the physical. It's impossible, especially when we're all free spiritual beings living inside of these physical human bodies, just having this experience based on how we think, and only determined by what we allow ourselves to be subjected to. In other words, like, however far the rabbit hole goes, however far you can see, that's as much information that you will be allowed to,